Well, here we are. I'm Tom Osman, and this is Whatever Comes Next, the podcast where I explore the world of underground and independent music making. And on today's episode, I am talking with Pierre and Nathan from instrumental rock group Endless Dive, who will shortly be releasing their latest record, Souvenances, which is thematically and sonically a record that draws from childhood. And for anyone who's listened to the two or three singles that have been released already, you can hear that the duo incorporate various recordings from childhood audio pieces, and they mix them in together with the music in a way that adds to this kind of evocative quality where you do feel like you're being transported back to some kind of childhood photo album, but in audio form. And the album is also noticeable for being the first time that Endless Dive has gone from being a four-piece down to a two-piece, and we talk about what implications that had on the making of the record. And we also talk about some of the duo's plans to perform these songs on stage and actually become a four-piece once again. So anyway, we talk about that. And here comes the interview. So you can check out Endless Dive on Instagram. They have links to all their various different pages there. You can pre-order the album on Bandcamp. I'll put all various links into the description. And if you would like to check out what I'm doing musically, you can go to tomosmansounds.com. And if you want to follow me, you can find me on all social media at Tom Osman Sounds. And I'm going to play a track from the record in a moment, or I'm going to play a clip from a track from the album in a moment, and I will play the full track after the interview. And for now, there's nothing left to be said, but Pierre and Nathan of Endless Dive, take it away. Is that how I pronounce the Tournai? Is that where both of you are?
Yeah. We are coming from Tournai, but now I am living in Brussels. So now I'm Brussels and Nathan is near Tournai.
Okay. So I know there's like some backstory with the four-piece band that you had, and now there's two of you, and I wanted to ask you about that connected to the forthcoming record. Let's see if I pronounce this correctly. Souvenances?
Okay, so it's difficult. It's Souvenances.
Souvenances.
Souvenances, yeah. Yeah, maybe it's difficult, the A-N before the C.
Yeah.
Like I used to teach French to foreign people, and usually people, it's difficult to the A-N because they pronounce the N, but you don't have to pronounce it. It's Souvenances.
That's good to know. So yeah, so the album is coming out on February the 28th, I think. Yeah. Is that right? So it's your, if I have this right, it's your third full-length album.
Yes.
But the first time with just the two of you.
That's right.
And so I know some of your earlier material. Okay. And so I've listened to the forthcoming album a fair bit, and I like it a lot. It's very kind of, I think the title makes a lot of sense, because if I understand the title, it's kind of like about remembering the past and the things that remind you. And obviously in the videos and in the some of the tracks, you have these samples of home videos from childhood. So I think there's a lot in the music and maybe in like the production as well that you've done, like, you know, sounds of tape recorders being played, and it just like gives me the feeling that I'm in a house, like maybe like a child, and there's these conversations going on around me. So like for me, just as the listener, it makes me feel like there are all these memories coming back. But for you two making the album, why did you decide at this time that you wanted to like bring your childhood into your music?
I think the first time when we thought about bringing back our souvenir is when I found the tape from my great old mother. no,
great grandmother.
great grandmother, and she sang a lot of different songs when I was a child, and so I just find this tape and put on the song from Peter from Pierre, and I think it was the first time when we thinking about take some souvenir. And after that, Pierre, non, je sais pas pourquoi je dis, I don't know why I say Peter, found some video from his childhood. And so we take some field recording from this video, and the concept start at this moment, I think.
Maybe I can add, like it was before we never put some field recording before, like because we always wanted the listener to make his own universe while listening to our stuff, and this time it was different because like when we discovered like his great grandmother's song, or like when we discovered some tapes from our childhood, we discovered like a really like emotional power with this, and we thought it would be really great, and for once to have like one theme around the record, and we wanted to the listener to enter in like a feeling and to not leave it during the whole record, and so that was kind of different. It was different from the other record we made because of this.
Yeah, well, like I say, I think partly listening to the album, it does have that feeling of being in a particular world. And I think also, like maybe partly for the age I am now that I'm 43, and the like people are like, older generations are dying or people are getting old around me. Also for the time of year, like the trees are starting to lose their leaves and winter's coming. So it feels like exactly the right time for that kind of reflective experience. So going back to those memories, to those recordings, to those videos, what influence did that have on the music that you created?
Well, it has influence on maybe the sounds, like particularly the guitar, all the stuff. We put it in some kind of tape sound. I have it here. Maybe I can show you. Like I've got this pedal, which is like a tape simulation, which make your sounds sound like a videotape, and we basically put a lot of stuff into this one. So that's what make the sounds, I think, sounds like 90s.
Yeah, like very analog. Like,
analog.
And I know like you do have that bit of the cassette playing and whatever track it was, but there were other parts as well where I did feel like there's a quality to the sound that makes it sound like you're finding something from the past.
Yeah, but it sounds like analog, but basically we didn't put a lot of analog stuff. Like most of the guitar were recorded in a small audio interface and stuff. The drum.
I saw some clips. Did you use Pro Tools?
No, Ableton.
Oh, it was Ableton. I was looking at it. I was like, I think it's Pro Tools or Ableton, and I'm like, not quite sure. I'm going to go Pro Tools, but it was Ableton. Okay.
But a lot of stuff were made on a computer. Most of the drums were made on computer as well. Even if they're not 100% of the record was made like this, we went in the studio, we record some drums, some guitars for some songs, but most of the record is like made on computer, but we added this analog stuff, but it wasn't made analogically. I don't know what to say, but
yeah, I'm not sure. I know what you mean. I don't know if we do have a word for that, but
okay.
that was no, I also had that feeling because there are definitely tracks where you can hear kind of like electronic programming. I mean, I think you don't necessarily have percussion on all the tracks, but in some of them it comes through. Like, again, a track I probably can't pronounce, but the 9th track on the album,
La Petite Danseuse.
That one. That was one of my favorite ones. And you had something on it. I imagine it's not a real saxophone, but was that some kind of synthetic saxophone sound you were going for, or was it just synths?
No, it's only guitar, I think.
Oh, it's guitar, really?
Yeah, so there's two guitar, and there is a really big bass, like a sound, a synth bass.
Yeah.
But no, there's no saxophone.
Interesting. Maybe it was this like it wasn't. It was just kind of like a flowing sound. Maybe it was just the synth bass that I heard. But I'm like,
Okay.
I love saxophone
Okay.
in songs. It's like, ooh, is this a
Yeah.
little bit of saxophone in here? But I thought it wasn't a real saxophone, but I liked the effect.
Yeah, interesting. The bass is like in the run. It's like the really like
Riser.
but really in the low frequencies. So I don't think maybe it's
Maybe and maybe I've got the wrong track, but I think it was that track. It was the third last track.
yeah. I think this is it. Yeah, with the great grandmother speaking. Like there's a woman telling stories on this track.
I can't remember if it was that one. I didn't take a note for that because I know there was some different speaking in different tracks. Anyway, I liked that track a lot. But yeah, there were lots of standout parts throughout it, like partly your guitar playing, but also the way that you did include these different textures and these different instruments throughout it. Like it doesn't sound like, oh, this is an instrumental band of two guitarists. It sounds like you have a lot of different layers and modes to it. So if we can go into talking about how the band changed, can you tell me a bit about maybe like the formation of the band? How did you start and how did you get from being a four-piece to being just the two of you?
So the band started with a four-piece like almost 10 years ago, and before that band, Nathan and the two other guys, they were playing in another band which was like an hardcore melodic band.
Cool, yeah.
But after that band, we met together. We started this project like just we were in our hometown just making music once a week after work or after the school. Then we released the first EP and then two records. But after that, like the bassist and the other guitarist left because it was quite difficult for them to mix work and music together.
Okay.
And
so it wasn't, there's not like a big drama that I need to get to the middle of. There was not some huge fight or anything. It was just like practical.
No, I think it was a very good way to break up. Like it's I don't know if you can say the same word for band.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good ending, I think, because like we just picked together as friends and it wasn't like a fight or something. Just we spoke about what we wanted and we just felt from a long time that the path were separating and we just talk about it. And Nathan and I, we wanted to go on with the band and they accepted it. And we made like one last gig together in Brussels in a place which is called Botanic. I don't know if you know it.
Okay, funny coincidence. I didn't realize this, but the T-shirt that I'm wearing at the moment is from a Lingua Ignota concert. Okay. And I got this from when she played in Botanic. I think it was last year.
Oh,
so yes, I've been there.
And so we made like we made a last gig together and it was really a nice moment. And I think it was a really special gig and even the audience felt it, like, because a lot of friends told me like, yeah, we felt something in the atmosphere. And I think it was true because we were just like being four friends playing one last gig together and we just had fun. We didn't worry about anything else. And I think it was a good ending for the four-piece band. And then we just go on, Nathan and I, for make a new record, both of us. But it's just like a transition because we want to play this record with two other musicians and we want to stay a four-band piece.
And so what was that like to, for the first time, make an album with just the two of you? How was that dynamic?
At the beginning, it was very complicated because Pierre came at the studio, but when you don't have a lot of inspiration and you are just two, it's very quickly boring, you know. Yeah. So after a moment, we just composed at home separately. And when we have a lot of idea, back to the studio and make something together. But yeah, it was very different than when we were four. But I think after a moment we found the process then we need to have, and it was a lot of work, honestly, because work in the computer was very new for me, so not easy at all. But yeah, we just used this time and this transition for create a different album, very conceptual, and so yeah, was just different.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you about the cover because I think I read in an Instagram post that the picture on the cover is connected to a computer game. And there are also, I noticed like on again, pronounce it incorrectly, track number 6, Rouge Feu?
Yeah, Rouge Feu, yeah.
Rouge Feu. It's like you have a computer game kind of effects going in that. And then I read that the cover of the album is somehow connected to a computer game. And I thought like the child with the face paint on, I thought this is a computer game, right? But I can't think what the computer game is. So which computer game is it?
Oh, it's me on the cover, and I think it was just a Turtle Ninja. I don't know the in English.
Ah, yeah, Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtle.
But the video game is not about the picture, but about the artwork, because like so this cover was a long story, but you know there is a stripe on the side,
Down the side, yep.
which is blue or red, which is more actually pink on the picture, but and we wanted like to make two cover, like one red and one blue, and the game is Pokemon. Like we wanted to make a
I'm too old. That's the problem. I'm too old for the Pokemon reference.
But we wanted people like at the merch stand to choose like, oh, do I want the red or the blue one, and that's it. And basically the songs you were talking about, Rouge Feu, it's the name of the French Pokemon. Like the first one were red and blue, and then like I don't know 10 or 15 years ago they make a new one, a remake, and the French name was Rouge Feu, which means in English like fire red. And that's it. And so this is the song, like this song we wanted to make like a video game, and we just put like a synthesizer who sounds like a Game Boy, and that was the idea behind this track.
Okay, good. I'm glad that I was hearing something that was intended to be in there.
Cool.
And on the topic of the vinyl, so I noticed that the forthcoming album and your two other albums all have vinyl issues. And I was just interested for you both as musicians, but also as music fans, how important is the physical media to you, and particularly vinyl?
Well, honestly, I grew up with CDs. So I have a lot of importance with that because I used to listen a lot CDs before the streaming. But vinyls, I have quite some vinyls in my home because I like the object, but I never listened to vinyl in my life because I don't have I don't know
record player.
Yeah, I don't have this, and yeah. I usually buy vinyls like when after a gig and I want to support the band, I buy one. But honestly, I never buy on internet or some because yeah, I just don't have a player.
So how do you both normally listen to music?
Nowadays, streaming, like I have a Tidal.
Yep.
And
because the sound quality is better on Tidal, right? It's more like the WAV files.
Yeah, but it was just because it was paying artists more than Spotify did. So that's why I changed, and just for ethical reasons. But yeah, I think the quality, you can have like a pro account to have a better quality, but I usually listen to it through my earphones, so it doesn't a lot.
And what about for you, Nathan? How do you listen to music? Is it also normally digital?
when you can see, I don't know if you see really good, but
Yeah.
this is my platine. Comment t'as dit, Pierre? Platine?
Player,
Yeah.
violin player.
Yeah. It's
Record
just
player?
the ground. I don't put strings there, but it's on the way, you know. But yeah, usually it's on platform on YouTube or on Spotify or this kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 10 years ago it was on CD, but nobody listen really. I think on CD now. You just buy for the object for the
Yeah.
no object, yeah.
Yep.
But I don't know if a lot of people really listen or vinyl on the
On the record player.
yeah, record player. I
I
don't
think
know.
there's a lot of people listening to vinyl. You have the installation, but I have a lot of people telling me, I listen to records on vinyl, but I don't know. But
Yeah, like I know like the whole sound quality conversation is like a whole other topic, but I'm always sort of interested to think about what the value of having a physical thing is. Like if the world only had digital files, what would we lose? I sort of feel like there's something nice about the physical object, but I don't really know why.
yeah, for me too. Like for a lot of things, for example, I play video games, and nowadays like the box with your game is kind of disappearing. And I remember like when I was a child, when you have a new video game and you have like a little book inside that you were reading in the car when you were coming home. Like for DVDs, like movies, I had it before. Like I still attached to the object, like
Yeah.
but it's just like kind of superficial. It's not important. Like
Mm,
I like it, but it digital have so many good points too. So it's just a
yeah.
balance, and everyone prefers something or something else. It's just up to everyone to choose
It's
your
more
side.
like a good souvenir for me. When you go at a show and you go back at home with something, a T-shirt of vinyl, it's more like a good souvenir of oh, it was a good show, and but after you put on the other stuff,
Yeah.
like,
On
yeah,
the topic of t-shirts, like I've spoken to other bands who said that like these days, in terms of actually making money from music, sometimes like playing a show and then selling t-shirts at the show is actually like the way that you make money. So like is selling t-shirts important for Endless Dive?
yeah, yeah, it's really important. I think it's sometimes more than we. Je sais pas comment on dit. Parfois, on touche plus au merch que le cachet, tu vois, tu sais.
Yeah, sometimes we earn more money from the merch than the gig itself.
Mm,
So yeah, it's really important.
And yeah, it's like a how do you say? It's the only way for us to earn like 100% of the money,
yeah.
not taking. And I heard like in some cities like Paris, some places take apart from the merch from the band.
Mm,
Some bands refuse it, and so I heard some stories about bands speaking to the microphone like, okay, tonight we don't sell any merch because this is the only things that we sell and that we earn. That it's not taken from someone else. And we like I think it was Russian Sackers who did this, and they was like protesting against that kind of method because it's like the last wall before like we have a word in French like the last word before you break inside. And it's difficult to explain in English. I don't know if you
I think I know what you mean. It's like if you have a castle and you've got all these walls around it to protect it. It's
yeah
like each wall gets broken and then
yeah
it's the last defense that you've got before you have
yeah
nothing left.
yeah that's it. And the merch is like yeah the yeah I don't know how to say it, but I think you got it.
Yeah. No, I've heard different things. I mean, I've heard from different bands that same thing that some venues start trying to take a percentage
Mhm.
of the merch. So, like from your points of view, like you've been doing this for 10 years and you've been making music for longer. From like the financial side of things, how much can you focus on the music and how much do you have to have, like a full-time job separate from all of this?
Well, it's different for Nathan and I. For me now, I left my job 2 years ago for making music all the time, but Endless Dive is not my only project. I split in some different things, like I make production for other bands or for other artists. I play in another band. I'm a musician for another artist. So just like splitting activities to try to live from it. But in Belgium, we have something called statut d'artiste, which is like wages, money that you can get from the state every month. But you have to prove a lot of days of work in the art to get this, and I am still in that situation. So yeah, I made this because I felt like having a full job and making a band was quite difficult. So that's for my point of view and for Nathan.
Yeah, for me, I work with disabilitated people during the night, and je sais pas comment on dit livreur,
Delivery guy.
delivery guy, yeah, for je sais pas non plus comment on dit, magasin de meubles.
Okay, so Nathan deliveries like accommodation from a shop, like a desk, table, sofa,
Oh, right, like office equipment, that kind of thing.
not office, house and stuff.
Oh, furniture.
Furniture,
Yeah,
yeah.
furniture. Yeah, that's right. And I drive for some bands sometimes too. So, and I have Endless Dive. It makes it's a lot of different job, but I mix.
Yeah. It's very interesting, Pierre, what you said about if I can say, like kind of government support, like the sort of system, because I interviewed the singer from a band. I don't know if you know them. They're called Dirty Shades.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
we play with them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really, really like them. I interviewed the singer, and she was telling me, I think it was in France, that
Mhm.
they have a system where if you can prove that you are working enough, like playing enough shows in the music world or in the entertainment world, you do get this kind of like a salary.
yeah,
Yeah.
So,
it's kind of the same. Yeah,
so that's really interesting because that was the first time I ever heard something like that. Like, I've heard of maybe people going to like the Arts Council in the UK and saying, I have a project. Can you give me some funding? But it would be more like for one project. But to me, that's very interesting. You have like sort of an art system set up that actually provides regular funding for artists. That seems like a really good thing.
yeah, this is the same thing in France, kind of. And it's just not for one project. Like for me, I'm started to make some videos during shows, and so I can get some money from this. And it's just like in Belgium, we count it like days. You have to make 150 days of work in 2 years, and so each time you get money and you have a contract, it's like 2 days of work. I don't know. So yeah, that's it. But it's
Yeah.
different.
And has that existed the whole time that you've had Endless Dive, or has that been like a new system that got set up?
No, it's an old system, but I think 10 years ago it was more easier to have this help, but now it's very complicated. It's more strict, so
Hmm.
it's not the same.
More bureaucracy and more paperwork.
No, it's no, I think now it's easier now than it was before because now you have more day to prove all your days of work. But now it's like more, yeah, it's more work, administrative work and stuff.
Yeah. So thinking about the release of the album, so you've had two singles so far, is that right? Or you've had
Uh,
one and another one is coming?
No, two were released.
So between now and the release of the album at the end of February, what plans have you got for promoting the album?
We still have one single will be released by the end of January. And then here is Christmas time, so it will be a bit less less promoting, but yeah, basic stuff like single with a teaser, video, and yeah, that's basically it because album is releasing in 2 months. Maybe we still working on some other stuff, but we just don't speak about it for now, and maybe we will see.
And like on the sort of social media promotion side of things, like, you know, I mentioned that I saw some posts on Instagram. Who does that and how much time do you put into it? Because I feel like I have very mixed feelings about social media. Like I understand it can be useful, but it can also just end up being something that you put loads of time into and it's hard to know what the value is for it.
Well, it's me who did the social media. I it takes some times before posting because I like to make it really clean. Uh, for example, just typing in English, I have to check if it's correct and stuff, if there is no mistake. Um, but yeah, with time, I get more organized with this. I write the text before, and so I have a document with this. So when I have to post it, I just have to copy and paste the text. I prepared. I think nowadays maybe it's not actually posting on the social media which takes time. It's just to prepare all the stuff to post because now it's more like videos you have to make, and so you have to create that content, make the teaser and the right text. Maybe this is taking more time, but I think we are not the band who post the most on social media. We have like maybe one post a week max when we are like in a promoting period like now, but otherwise we don't run after the post, like we
Yeah.
don't okay, we have 2 months, we have nothing to talk about, we have to create. We don't do this because
Yeah.
we don't really want to. Maybe we would have more followers or stuff if we were more active, but I think it's not us, and we are happy with this now. So
And what are your plans with playing shows? So I think you mentioned, and I also read that you want to still play live with four members. So
yeah.
do you actually have two people that will be permanent members of the band, or this will just be for live shows?
I think it's more so yeah, we have two members with us now, and actually we talk about the breakup like last year, but we already we announced it like maybe 6 7 months after we had the discussion about breaking up, so we had time to find people. So yeah, we found actually my roommate which would be the guitarist, and a guy from Tournai from the bass, Francois. And now we are just working on the live because they had to learn like all the previous songs, which is kind of a big work because there is some songs which are kind of difficult to learn when you don't write it. It's more difficult to learn it.
Mm.
So basically we've been working on that for the last year because the two other guys also play in other bands. So we rehearsal. That's I never know how to pronounce rehearsal.
Rehearse.
We rehearse like not once a week because we don't have time for this. So for now we are just focused on the live. So we don't really think about like the permanent state or just live state. For now it's just live because we just worked on the live aspect. We didn't
Yeah.
really create and stuff, so we don't really think about it now. For now we just focus on the live because we have our release party in 3 months, and we're still not ready because we have some work, some songs to learn and stuff.
Yeah.
So the main focus is on that for now.
And so for people that want to see the live shows, and also for people who want to either pre-order or buy the album, where is the best place for them to get information, and where's the best place for people to buy the album?
On Instagram, no? We have the link with different things like merch or videos.
Yeah, I think the social media where we are the most active is Instagram, because we tried TikTok, but we don't like it.
Yeah, I drew that line. I was like, I'm not going to go to TikTok.
Yeah, I tried it. I had that line too, and then I was like, okay, don't be a boomer or stuff. Just cross the line. And then no, I tried. I put some videos, but I think it's not definitely dead for me, because it has some good things about it. But yeah, it
We
says
are too old, I think, for this kind of media. I don't know. It's just me, but
I feel
I
that way.
never go on TikTok. And the first time when I saw in our mail from Endless Dive, TikTok, je sais pas comment on dit, inscription,
subscription.
subscriptions, TikTok inscriptions on Endless Dive. I was, Pierre, what the fuck? I don't want to go on this platform, but yeah, we try.
Yeah. But yeah, and so basically all the informations you can find it on Instagram, because this is the place where we are the more active. Facebook too, but I have the feeling like Facebook is kind of dying for bands. Like we have like actually we have twice more followers on Facebook than Instagram, but like our Facebook posts reach like 20
yeah,
10 times less than on Instagram, and we have twice more followers on Facebook. I don't know what's happening, but yeah, and we have like a little link in our biography where we can find the singers, the gigs and stuff.
And you've got the forthcoming album and previous albums are available through Bandcamp.
Yeah.
As well, I think. Will they also be like in some stores? Like I'm sure when you're playing live, you'll bring physical copies as well. But for people to actually buy the physical copies or even digital downloads, is Bandcamp the best place to do that, or are there other options?
Yeah, I think Bandcamp is the best place to buy music, because they don't take a lot of wages.
Yeah, like they don't take a big percentage. The artist still gets money, unlike Spotify.
That's a really good platform for it, and even for us, Bandcamp is kind of easy. You get the orders, you can just click on it. It's been sent and the communication is made, and so I think it's a good tool, Bandcamp. But otherwise, in shops in Belgium, we had a label is giving a copy of the vinyl in some shops, but I don't think like in international you will find a Endless Dive copy in your local vinyl shop. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it can be surprised.
Well,
We have
I like
in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, full time. We have a label.
Yeah.
On Japan for the last record, but
hey, there you go. You've already got like a little in into Japan.
Very little, yeah, but
really.
Well, thank you both for your time, and yeah, I've really been enjoying the album. Maybe Pierre, you could just say the name of the album as it is properly one more time.
Souvenances.
Beautifully said. Yeah, really great album. So I hope you get a great reception when it comes out, and yeah, hopefully I get a chance to see you guys play on stage at some point too.
Okay.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Peter.
Thanks a lot.
Have a nice day.
Bye bye.
Allez, tu te fais dans l'herbe jusqu'à la cabane, ok? Très bien.
Dans l'herbe, vas-y dans l'herbe. Pousse toutes tes forces, toutes tes forces, toutes tes forces. Voilà, allez, pédale dans l'herbe, de toute ta force. Pédale à fond, à fond, à fond.
Vas-y, Pierre. Allez, je suis avec toi.
Allez, vas-y, pédale. À fond, vite. Allez, vas-y, mets-toi dessus. Attends, je vais descendre un tout petit peu.
Les pédales sont pas envie de commencer tout à l'heure.
Allez, saute, le chien, belle. Et montre maman. Maman.